Well, there have been widespread calls for restraint in Mozambique. The situation appears to be relatively calm in the country today following yesterday's protests. Security remains high, though, but it seems like it's business as usual with some shops open and children going back to school. Last night, former First Lady Graça Machel went on air calling for calm. This after thousands of people took to the streets yesterday chanting, "Frelimo must fall." Mozambique's largest hospital says at least 3 people were killed and 66 injured during clashes between police and protesters over the disputed election. The fatalities add to at least 18 people killed in earlier protests since the October 9 poll, which the opposition has claimed was rigged. Now, some groups have given a higher toll, with Mozambique's Center for Democracy and Human Rights reporting 34 deaths overall. Thursday's protests were the biggest Mozambique has ever seen against Frelimo, the party that has ruled the Southern Africa state since 1975. All right, let's get the very latest now from this top story from our one of our reporters, in fact, Nonhlanhla Jele, who's been stationed at the Lebombo border post, which was earlier on partially reopened. Nonhlanhla, thank you so much for your time. So earlier on, of course, you spoke to the BMA, and they, of course, told us that they're still concerned about some of the violence which may at any time escalate, even though the situation is calm at the moment. But I understand, of course, that even though this border is partially opened, trucks are still not allowed to go through. Just talk to us about what you know.
Indeed, Unati, good afternoon to you and to the viewers at home. Trucks are not allowed to cross to the Mozambican side at this particular point. Only people in South Africa, Mozambican nationals, that is, who are wishing to go back home, are allowed to go back home. South Africans in Mozambique who also wish to come back to South Africa are allowed to come back home. As you said, it is partially opened. And of course, because of the tensions that continue, although it has been said that the tensions are calm, or that it's been calm now in Maputo, but I'm just going to bring in some people, Unati, who were just from Mozambique actually crossing to South Africa. But thank you so much for his katsako. Uyapi?
In South Africa. We are in Mozambique from Izolo Skona la IPP garage. Ngoba bekuliyo. Yebo.
Uyenzani eGoli baba?
Mina ngisebenza ngeorganize. Thwala mthwala eGoli ngiyise eMozambique.
Siyabonga. Sanibona ninjani ma? Siyaphila. Siyabona nani niyawela ngale niya kuphi?
Niya Ressano Garcia. Ngiphelekeza umntwana lo waseMzazi. Nabanye babuya le.
Babuye emuva baya ngapha South Africa.
Sama passport nihamba nabo.
Okay, siyabonga. Baba kunjani? Ngiyaphila. Ngiyakubona ubuya ngapha eLebombo, uya ngapha eRessano, uya ekhaya?
Ngekhaya ma. Ngekhaya ngisuka le Rustenburg.
Unesikhathi esingakanani ukuhlelela ibhoda, ukwazi njani ukuthi kuzovula namuhla ngoba bekuvaliwe?
Ngifika manje, so masifika le border le emalelani basitshela ukuthi ne border ivaliwe. So nibuyele emuva, sathi asibuyele emuva kanjani, sivile ukuthi border ivuliwe. Bayasebenza bathi hayi buyelani emuva. Sathi ne asivumi. Sabuya sathola ilift yasibuyisa kuze sifike la eBP. So sabuya ngenyawo kufika la kusuka eBP. So sibone ukuthi yonke into right, sishayisile mo passport lapha sesiyangena siyasazi kunjani le Mozambique.
Siyabonga baba. Unati, as you have heard, those are some of the people, others coming from Mozambique going to South Africa because they have businesses to take care of. And this gentleman saying he's all the way from Rustenburg and he's making his way to Mozambique. He says that they were told that the border is still closed, but however, they're forced to get to where they are today. And then when they got to the other garage, a BP garage, the last garage actually in Komatiport, on your way to the border, they decided to stop there and walked all the way to the port of entry. And luckily for them, it was opened. Unati, we are currently in no man's land. I am going to move out of the shot just to show you what is happening here. A couple of minutes after the border was opened, the street started getting busy. We saw that policemen also taking his post, also checking passports. As you can see, Unati, taxis are already in operation. Earlier on, we spoke to the chairperson of the Long Distance Taxi Association from Maputo, saying to us that in the last couple of days where the border post was closed. They lost a lot of money. They had to make alternative arrangements to move the people from Lebombo port of entry to Manang, to another port of entry, Unathi. If you remember correctly, BMA Commissioner Dr. Mike Masiapato did say that this is not the only port of entry, Unathi, that other people can use. There are other ports of entry, another one in KZN and others up north in Limpopo that people can use. So he said that they have been trying to get people to go back home, seeing that this port of entry was closed. However, the port of entry is open, Unathi.
All right, Nonhlanhla, thank you so much for that.